Hey everybody, today I'm gonna be building an art studio on The Sims 4 for my Very Veggie Let's Play actually, so that's why we are on a little bit of a budget. Over there in the corner we can see we have about 35,000, and in the end that was a good amount for me to make it cute and everything. We are just gonna end up with like almost zero, but that's fine. So in the beginning here, you're gonna see that I'm struggling a little bit with the shell because I honestly wasn't sure how I wanted to make it. But then eventually I'm gonna start drawing inspiration from the light yellow building over there in the back, because I really wanted to make this build really fit in with the world. This is the Business and Hobbies world, North Haven. So yeah, about here, look. I started basically copying the building in the back, like the shape, but then I made it green, obviously, for the challenge. But anyways, in case you haven't seen me play with the Very Veggie Legacy Challenge, I'll just give you a little summary of what's going on. So in the last video, we just had the first eggplant baby. His name is Eggplant, like eggplant. I don't know. I wanted to make a little play on words. And our founder sim from the broccoli generation, her name is Collie Plant. And yes, I just realized that that's a very not creative name. But now we're too far gone. She's almost, I don't know. Well, she's still a young adult, but we're playing on short lifespan. So honestly, she's not gonna last very long, so we don't even have to worry about it. And then she's not married to Alice yet, but she is our baby mama. But we will get married, don't worry about it. And I don't know if you can see over there in the corner, I do ended up giving a little bit of a spoiler because they do have another baby. But let me explain myself. So basically on my real game, I'm a little bit ahead, like very ahead actually, of the videos. So surprise, they have another baby. But don't worry, don't look too much, okay? Act surprised when they actually have the baby on the video, okay? And in case you don't know the rules of the challenge, basically for each generation they have to have a specific job and a specific aspiration and max some skills. So for our broccoli aspiration here, Collie, she has to have a small business, obviously, and we do sell paintings, but then we eventually had enough money to start adding some pottery to our business. And she has the Lady of Knits aspiration, so we also have some knitting. And the skill that she has to max is the wellness skill. So then over here in this balcony in the back, you're gonna see I'm gonna put a little yoga mat for us. But unfortunately she hasn't been able to really thrive with this skill because she's been pregnant for a while. But don't worry, now she's working on it. She just started it actually. She also has to max 3 artistic skills, and the ones I chose for our collie here just because they will be the easiest one to max, seeing as we have a business with pottery and whatever. I'm gonna make her max the painting skill, obviously, and the pottery skill. And then for the third skill, I don't know if this is a little bit of cheating, but I don't think so, is the knitting skill, because technically it doesn't say she has to max the knitting skill. It says she has to complete the knitting aspiration, and then seeing that we have to complete the knitting aspiration, completing the knitting skill won't be that much of a challenge. So that's why I chose that. And obviously her theme color for her generation is dark green, so that's why our building is green. And you're gonna see just in a moment that our walls are also dark green, and the doors and the windows. I know that I could probably make it a little bit more green, like more green everywhere, like her hair could be green, more furniture could be green, but I don't know, like we do have here the green essence, the walls are dark green. I didn't want to make everything so dark green because then it would just be not very cute. And I don't know, maybe that might be a little boring, but everything looks very, how can I put this, aesthetic, with the main color, the theme color being dark green. So I'm not mad about it. Look, this dark green wall, we're gonna make it like that. Doesn't mean that the sofa needs to be dark green and everything. And actually in my real life I have never been to like an art studio or like a place to make pottery, like specific for this. But actually, this was a while ago, like 2 months ago. I was like walking around like near my house, and then I saw this pottery studio, and I thought it was so cool because, okay, now I know it's a little bit of a trend to make pottery. We see all these people on TikTok and whatever, but I personally just haven't I done like stuff with clay, but never like pottery. So then I went inside this place. It was this old lady's shop, and then I chatted with her for a little bit, and then I got her card, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I really want to come here one day. But this was months ago, and then I never ended up going. But now that I'm building this and I'm thinking about it, I think that would be a super fun idea. And like, you don't have, like, I was a little bit confused, but I asked her, and I can go just like for one time. Like, you can pay for like per time you go, or you can sign up for actually like have classes. Imagine you max your pottery skill. Oh, and just to explain a little bit of what's going on here, you're gonna see that I have some stuff on, like, most of the furniture is in our inventory, but that's because they already had a house. But we have a good budget, 35,000, but also that's not enough budget to buy everything new. So I did put some of the stuff in our inventory, actually most of the stuff that we had in our old house, and then for this house I bought some new stuff too. And so cute, the purple and turquoise rug in the baby's bedroom over there, Collie actually needed that for him for his little birthday when he became a toddler. So I think that's very cute, and I had to bring that with us to this house. And since we're making the pink bathroom, over there upstairs, I just remember that when I was building this, I was gonna make it green, but then the tiles, like the color of the tiles closest to purple was the pink one from the Slick bathroom kit. And I don't know, I decided to make the bathroom pink because it's close to purple, but because if the whole house is green, it gets a little boring too. So I just wanted to add a little bit of a spice with the pink bathroom. And honestly, this is pretty much all I have to say about the build, like always. In the end, I was pretty satisfied with it. And the inside, the vibes, I guess, they look very similar to the other building that they used to live in. But pretty much all the furniture is the same, so it's fine. And for now on, I think we could talk about what we always talk about when I make a build. It's what we've been entertaining ourselves with this week. And this week, actually, I did watch a whole show. That it only had 5 episodes, so it wasn't too crazy that I finished it. But a new show on Netflix, Sirens, right? You probably heard about it, maybe not, I don't know. But it is a new show, and I finished it. But in each episode, because let me explain myself here really quick. They did this on purpose, obviously. Each show ends with like an obvious cliffhanger, and honestly, that kept me hooked. Like, I was aware it was an obvious cliffhanger, but it kept me hooked. And my thoughts, in case you were wondering, let me see. It was okay. The end was pretty shocking. I liked that part. The middle, it was getting, because okay, in the beginning you think it's gonna be kind of like a murder mystery vibe, like that one. What was that one with Nicole Kidman? You know what show I'm talking about. Well, I can't remember the name, but it's the one that in the beginning they dance to the song. It's Murder on the Dead. No, that's not it. Honestly, this is how my brain works, and I'm not even gonna apologize. They danced to a song by that woman that made It's All About That Bass song, you know what I'm talking about, and she's married to the kid, or he's not a kid anymore, but to the guy that played the kid in Spy Kids. That one. I do know her name, I promise, I just don't know. But this is getting so out of topic. See, this is what I get. And if I'm being even completely more honest, I just woke up from a nap, so maybe that's an excuse for me to my brain to not be working. Oh, here it goes. Megan Trainor. See, I just needed a little bit of time to think about this stuff. So in the beginning of the show, like the beginning credits, they dance to a song by that girl. I think she's not a girl, she's a grown woman. She's older than me. I don't know why I call her girl. Anyways, and it's with Nicole Kidman. You know what I'm talking about. And in the end, do you want me to spoil it? Who killed? It was a murder mystery. In conclusion, I'm not gonna spoil it to you, otherwise you're gonna be mad at me. And then this show, Sirens, this was the whole point why I went on this tangent, is in the beginning you think it's gonna be like a murder mystery vibe, and then plot twist, it's not. Like, nobody cares about the murder. I don't know why they did that, to be honest. Nobody died. And then honestly, in the end, you just realize that it's like, oh, showing like the person who you like, not that I like the most, but the character that you kind of liked, that you thought was like the most normal character the whole show. In the last episode, he shows his true colors, you know, and then you see that he was actually the bad guy all along. And then the person you thought was the bad guy, she was actually a very sweet woman, I guess, that just wanted to maintain what she had, the good things she had, you know. And the main character, she becomes bad in the end, in my opinion. And these are the bells from the church next to my house, so if you can hear it, no, you can't. I'm not gonna stop talking because of it. Anyways, and then this main character, she is played by the actress that plays Rhaenyra on House of the Dragon. And I don't know why, if it's because on House of the Dragon she plays young Rhaenyra, so she's supposed to be like 14 years old, 15 years old. In the show, she looks still like 14, 15 years old in my mind. And then she's out here like dating this grown man, like these men that look like they're like 45, no joke. And then it is a little bit weird because of that, but I guess who am I to judge, you know? And yeah, in the end, she's the bad girl. She's the bad person. Well, the lady this is so fun because you're like, oh, she's such an evil person. And then the lady in the end, like the last line of the show, she's like, she's not, like, he's not bad and she's not bad either, you know? And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess if she forgives her, I'll forgive her too. And it is just a show, so, you know, it's not even real. You don't have to get that invested in it. But anyways, in case I tried to make it like in the end, I think what I said didn't make any sense because I didn't say any names. I just said, I didn't even give that much of a context, to be honest. But I just didn't want to spoil it because it's such a new show. I bet like most people haven't watched it, and if they did, they haven't finished it. But it is like a pretty good show to watch on the weekend because you can just finish it in 1 weekend. It only has 5 episodes, and I'm pretty sure this show is like the kind of show that only has 1 season anyways. It's like a limited series. What else? Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I could lie. I could say no, like I've been doing all these things, but you know what I've been also entertaining myself with, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. Everybody knows, well, not everybody, but I always talk about this in my builds that I'm reading Akatar, right? Yeah. Boo. She always talks about it. She has nothing more to say. Well, these are the things I entertain myself with, and what's the problem? Sims, little shows, and my books. And yeah, I'm late to the party of the Akatar train. I'm late to the train, but I'm reading it now, and that's fine. You can read the series whenever you want. Anyway, so I'm reading this, right? I'm now on the little Christmas special, the Court of Frost and what is it? Twilight. I was gonna say no, the Court of Frost and Starlight. And then I went ahead and I read the Goodreads review, the reviews, and people were just shedding on the book. They were like, "What is this? Oh, complete waste of time." And obviously, these reviews are from a while ago. So when I went into this book, I already knew it was a Christmas special. So I wasn't surprised about the vibe from it. But these people are really talking, like really running their mouths about the book. They were completely destroying the book, and I thought it was so funny. But I like how like each chapter is a different, nothing interesting to the story happens. Like you learn a little bit about like the character's background, and if you're invested in the series, like it's nice to learn about that. I don't know why they were so upset. They thought some crazy stuff was gonna happen in a book that's like super, like, it has 5 pages. Like, no, of course nothing's gonna happen. But I like, and then each chapter is from a different character's perspective, and then you learn a little bit more about each character and whatnot. And honestly, my review is good. I'm halfway through it, and probably gonna finish it this weekend. And next week, I'm gonna come talking. Oh, this core of silver, whatever that one is called, about Nesta. That's all I know what it's about, and I do like spoilers, if I'm being honest. I know that Feyre gets pregnant, and then honestly, I know all the business. If like I know no, maybe it's not all the, I don't know the details, but I know she gets pregnant, and then she gets pregnant when she's in her. This is so silly. Imagine somebody that don't read this listen to what I'm saying right now. Basically, she gets pregnant in her Illyrian form with the wings, and then she has like troubles. She's gonna die giving birth to the baby because the baby has wings, and a normal human body doesn't have the pelvic floor that's big enough to give birth to a baby with wings. And then her sister gives up her powers to save her from dying at birth, or from dying from giving birth. So I don't know if this is the whole story, but yeah, I know this big spoiler from the book I haven't read yet. And I just think it's so funny because the author, like, she really, honestly, like, this lady, Sarah J. Maasai, and I know there's also some controversy about her, okay? I know she hasn't been maybe the best person. I understand. But, you know, she does make some fire books. If I'm being honest, yeah, don't support her, blah, blah, blah. But what? You know, I like the books, but I want to read about how she can give birth because her pelvic floor is too small. Anyways. And basically, like, I know that, like, oh, she can't shapeshift while she's pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And that makes sense because, you know, shapeshift, she changed her whole body's, like, insides and outsides, not just the outside. And so probably that would hurt the baby. But then it's just like, she had to add something, you know. She had to write a whole, like, this is gonna be the fourth book in the series. She had to add something, you know. She couldn't just be like, oh, she got pregnant and she lived happily ever after. No, she got pregnant, she gonna die because her pelvic floor too small. They had to add that, you know, because the baby has wings. I don't know, for me that just sounds like a little weird, like, because before I knew it was about this, I knew that she had a troubling pregnancy, right? And then I was like, oh, it's because she got pregnant with wings? That's crazy. They had to add something weird like that, huh? They always add some weird stuff. But anyways, in conclusion, all these tangents just to say that, yeah, Court of Frost and Starlight is not, you know, the best, but also it's not bad. Yeah, it's a little Christmas special, but when you want to do some light reading, something that doesn't require a lot of brain power or understand the context of the story, just read that one. You know, who cares? Anyways, probably everybody clicked off. Well, they probably clicked off a long time ago, honestly. But when I started talking about ACOTAR, everybody's like, "Boo, we heard this 1,000,000 times before." Oh, what can I say? I like it. And then, like, I have been watching some new stuff on YouTube because, like, I find these people that I like to watch, and then I don't watch anybody else for like a while. And I started watching something new, but I don't know if it's worth saying, honestly, because it's like from the country I'm from, so it's in a different language. It's not even in English, so maybe nobody's gonna be able to watch it. But it's so funny. He's a funny guy, but I'm not gonna get on it. I don't know even why I mention it. Maybe I will get on it one day. I do have a whole background story that I haven't shared yet on this channel. Maybe I'll share it one day. Maybe I'll do a story time one day. But anyways, wow, we're at the end of the build. My goodness. Crazy shit. I'm so sorry. Let me do here the tour really quick. My goodness, I lost. This always happens. I lose complete track of what I'm saying. Anyways, let me give you a tour. So this is what I'm back. Hi. So this is the what the first floor is looking like. The first floor is obviously the art studio with the painting, the pottery, the knitting, and those paintings on the thing over there in the back, the sales thing. We already had them from our old house. This is the first floor of their house. That wall is empty because when I play, like I leave half of the walls down anyway, so you don't see that wall. This is our little kitchen. I really like this open floor concept here that we got going on. And then the bedroom, the balcony, and the bathroom. The bedroom in the end, I put that mirror over there, but I'm not gonna keep it. And I forgot the curtains too. But before I put it on the gallery, I'm gonna add the curtains. So here's the second floor. This is my pink bathroom that I like. And then we have the first baby's, the oldest baby's room. And then the second spoiler baby that now we know we have. And it's a green room. And I could have made it purple, but I didn't want to make another purple room because we don't have a lot of purple stuff. So I made it green. And then I found this little wallpaper from Businesses Hobbies and I really liked it. Anyways, and this is the outside. Sorry for the shitty video.